What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today it is that glorious time where we get to sit down and take a good old look at all of the alternate arts that are coming around in X-Record, the new Digimon TCG set over in Japan. Although do remember, we copy Japan sets pretty much dead on, so yes, it's Japan set for the moment, but in a little while it's going to be our set. And that's rather lovely, ladies and gentlemen. So we have 18 of them in total. Let's start off going through some red stuff. We've got Agamon X-Antibody. Well, of course we do, ladies and gentlemen. Of course we do. It can Digivolve for 0 cost from Agamon. That is a real theme in what we see in these X-Antibody cards. When you play or Digivolve, you reveal 3 cards on the top of your deck, and you can add an X-Antibody, that is the option card, and a card with Grademon or Omnimod in its name to your hand. Basically, it's really good for consistency, and we like this quite a bit indeed. And if we're going to have that, it only stands to reason that we would also have a Grademon X-Antibody, and we get one of those bad boys as well. This one can Digivolve as a 1 cost from regular Grademon. On all turns, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, gain 1 memory, not limited to once per turn. And at the end of your attack, once per turn, if this Digimon has Grademon or X-Antibody, the option card, in its Digivolution sources, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with power less than or equal to this Digimon's power. So basically you build him up, and that's easy to do in red, and delete any Digimon at the end of your turn. Can't be the only one thinking that's pretty gosh darned good. But we do have a couple of other level 6 red that we can have a little bit of a look at. We are getting ourselves Gaiomon X-Antibody, which seems kind of cool. Digivolves the 1 cost from Gaiomon. When you Digivolve, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest power. If you didn't delete anyone, you unsuspend. Seems cool. And on your turn, once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon is deleted, if you have Gaiomon or X-Antibody in your Digivolution cards, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So basically you get to delete a Digimon, and it doesn't have to be in battle, it's in any way you like, no matter how big the Digimon, and then you get to get rid of one of your opponent's security cards. That seems kind of redonkulous, frankly. And the last one isn't really a level 6 red, it's a level 6 black and red, but while we're talking red, we might as well. We are talking about Gaiomon, and here, this is a big one with very big stats. And you can Digivolve as a 2 cost from Black Grademon, and you're also treated as being Greymon, and you have security attack +1, and you have reboot. And if you have a black Digivolution card, you can de-Digivolve 1 when you Digivolve. And you get Blitz if you have a red Digivolution card. Basically, it's got like 47 different skills and they all look pretty good. This seems like one we might be getting a little bit excited about. Now, another tiny Digimon that's getting one of these is Gaboomon X-Antibody. Be weird if Agamon got and Gabumon didn't. Digivolve with a 0 cost from Gabumon, and when you play or Digivolve, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you add X-Antibody, if you find one, and a Garurumon or Omnimod to your hand. So like we said with Agamon, really nice consistency. And then of course, if we've got that, it only makes sense that we get Metal Garurumon X-Antibody as well. You know, complete the set, so to speak. Can Digivolve as a 1 cost from Metal Garurumon, which is important. When you Digivolve, you unsuspend, and it gains Blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. And he's a big boy with Blocker, so that's kind of cool. And on your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, if you've got Metal Garurumon or X-Antibody in your Digivolution cards, return all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to their owner's hands. Not always going to fire perfectly, but when that works, it is going to be absolutely wonderful. We do also have another lovely level 3 coming in here as well in blue. It's one a lot of people are very excited about. We are getting an alternate art of Jellymon. And I know I've seen a bunch of people very excited about this one. Once per turn, when you play a blue tamer, draw a card. Sounds good to me. And as an inheritable skill, once per turn, when an effect adds a card to your hand, return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hand. That's your turn only. That's pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. That sounds pretty gosh darn good to me. There is another level 6 blue we can talk about, although really it is a yellow-blue Digimon. But we're talking blue, we might as well. It is Magnamon X-Antibody. You can Digivolve as a 4-cost from Magnamon. On your opponent's turn, when your opponent's Digimon attacks, if this Digimon has X-Antibody or a card with Armor Form and its traits in its Digivolution cards, you can change the attack target to this card. And on all turns, when this Digimon would be deleted, you may place the top card of this Digimon at the top of your security stack to prevent that deletion. It's basically Armor Purge, but the card goes to the security, getting your opponent further away from winning the game. This one seems great to me. We then can look at some purple and yellow Digimon, including a lively little level 4, one of the smaller alternate arts. It is Maikumon, and here, it's a security card, so you just play it for free. And on deletion, as an inheritable skill, if this Digimon has 2 or more colours, gain 2 memory. Gaining that much memory in one go sounds pretty gosh darn good. We can then go up to the level 6 of Rigelmon here. When you play, you can play a purple or yellow Digimon with 6,000 power or less from your trash without paying. And if your security has 1 or fewer cards, you can play a level 6 or lower Digimon card with Angel or Fallen Angel in its traits from your trash without paying. But basically, we're talking Loosemon here, alright? And then at the end of your turn, you can DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon in play into a Digimon in your hand by paying the DNA Digivolution cost. Playing cards for free is good. And while we're here, we can actually go up to the level 7 of this, the Audenmon. And here, you can DNA Digivolve a purple and a yellow level 6 for 0 cost. When you're Digivolving, if you DNA Digivolve, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon, and all of their level 5 or lower Digimon, which seems absolutely over the top ridiculous. Oh yeah, and for each Digimon deleted, you recover +1, and it doesn't seem like it's limited, so you can go as high as you like. This seems, ridiculous, frankly. And then on deletion, you may trash the top card of your security to play this card without paying its memory cost. And honestly, it's a big 15,000 power Digimon. Sure, you don't get the Digivolution skill, but paying a security card to get this big 15,000 power level 7 back on the field, that might be worth it sometimes. I'm just putting that one out there. Now, there is another level 6 that is getting an alternate art in this set that is purple, although really it's purple and black. It is Dex Doragorum, and you can Digivolve as a 2-cost from Doragorumon. And when Digivolving, if you've got Doragorumon in its Digivolution cards, or you Digivolve from the trash, you delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. And then on deletion, you can play a level 3 purple or black Digimon from your trash without paying the play cost. Seems quite good. And it doesn't say you don't get the play skills, so you do. And if you have 5 or more cards with Dex in their names in your trash, you can actually play a Dexmon without paying its pay cost, which is clearly absolutely ridiculous. While we're talking black cards, there are a couple of black cards that have in their own right gotten themselves some alternate arts. We've got one level 5 coming in here, which is Grademon. And when you Digivolve, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. And you add a card with Alfamon in its name among them to your hand, and place a card with X-Antibody in its traits among them under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. And then as an inheritable skill, at the end of your attack, if you've got Alfamon in your name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. Clearly in an Alfamon deck, that's going to be pretty gosh darn good. We then have a level 6 black Digimon as well. Obviously, it's Alfamon. I mean, we've all seen the booster pack art. We knew Alfamon was getting an alternate art. That was kind of a given. When you Digivolve, you can place a card with X-Antibody in its traits from your trash to the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards. And on your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon's Digivolution cards are increased using an effect, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Bearing in mind, that's kind of what X-Antibody do, is get extra Digivolution cards under. So yeah, that sounds kind of fun to me. There is also then one single solitary green Digimon that does get the treatment. I don't know why green gets so little love here, but apparently it's a thing. It's very sad. It's the Grandest Agamon. I did actually show you this one in a video the other day. You can Digivolve from Grand Agamon for 1. When you Digivolve, you can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then if this Digimon is attacking, you can switch the target of the attack to one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. On your turn, you get an extra 4,000 power, so you're actually 16,000 power, which is huge. And at the end of an attack, once per turn, if this Digimon has either Grand Agamon or X-Antibody in its Digivolution cards, you can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and unsuspend this Digimon, which seems like a very nice combination indeed. Be nice if green didn't get fewer... Well, I would say green get fewer alternate arts. Technically, yellow didn't get any of its own, but there were 3 purple-yellow and 1 yellow-blue. So, no, I'm sorry. Green is the loser here. And then there is one white Digimon. It is the one that everybody was hoping was going to come around, or at least I know a lot of people were. It is Omnimod Merciful mode, and I know a lot of people are already getting very excited about this alternate art. It can Digivolve as a free cost, if the name contains Omnimon, otherwise it's a 6 cost. But do look, it can Digivolve from either red or blue or yellow or green. Seems quite nice. When Digivolving, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon for each card with Mega in its traits in this Digimon's Digivolution cards. That could be pretty awesome. And then return 10 cards in your opponent's trash to the bottom of their deck in any order, which can actually be really annoying if your opponent plays from the trash. As a lot of purple and a bunch of black decks do, that can actually be super annoying. Then at the start of your turn, you trash the top card of this Digimon, and if you do, you trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So basically, you get rid of one of your opponent's security at the start of your turn. Sure, you've got to lose the top card of this Digimon, but that's often going to be absolutely worth it, especially given really it's a Digivolution skill that you want. So you trash the top card and then you just Digivolve back up again and get the great Digivolution skill. Cannot be the only one that thinks this is a pretty good option. I like this card. And then, of course, we've got the 2 secret rares. Who could possibly have seen this coming? We've got Alfamon Ariaken here. Digivolves as a free cost from Alfamon, as long as Gaiomon is in its Digivolution cards. When you Digivolve, you delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost. And at the end of your turn, once per turn, you may return up to 7 non-Digi-Egg cards with X-Antibody in their traits from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of your deck, and gain 1 memory for each card returned. That basically gives you an extra turn. If you can have, 3, 4, 5 cards returned, that gives you 3, 4, 5 extra memory, and it's literally a case of, it should go to your opponent's turn. No, wait, it's actually going to my turn with 2 or 3 memory, which is a lot of the time all you're going to start with anyway. So you're literally getting an extra turn, which seems absolutely nuts. Then, of course, we get ourselves Dexmom, and that's another pretty important one. Remember, we just saw a card that can play this for free, which is good because it's a 20 cost. But you get to reduce the cost by 3 for each of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers in play, so it's not actually a 20 cost, it's going to be a fair bit cheaper. When you play or Digivolve, you de-Digivolve 1 all of your opponent's Digimon, which is good. And then delete all of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. But bearing in mind, if they were level 5 and had any Digivolution sources, they're going to be gone by this, because you're going to de-Digivolve them down to a 4 and then wipe them. And at the end of your opponent's turn, once per turn, you delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. Bearing in mind you've already probably board wiped when you played or Digivolved or come pretty gosh darn close, this is one of the board wipiest Digimon we've seen. It is absolutely ridiculous, and frankly, ladies and gentlemen, this one looks like it could be a problem. It looks like it could legitimately be a problem in the metagame, so have fun with that one. I'll be honest with you, there are none of these alternate arts in this particular set that I'm absolutely dead set on getting my hands on. There are none of these that I'm going to be rushing out to buy singles of. There are a lot of them that are very cool, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about any of them, but I am saying that, as cool as they are, there are none here which seem specifically designed for me. but maybe there are that seem designed for you, in which case I would love to hear about them in the comment section, so please do let me know. Go nuts! Be nice! Seriously, everybody tell me which of these is your favourite. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun stuff. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.